Hey guys, what's going on? Anthony here with Pistons Talk. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. In today's video, wanted to talk to you guys about the recent reporting of the Orlando Magic. I don't know if you guys saw this, but they are expected to shop some key players on their team. So what we're going to do in today's video is look at each player's contract, how much longer they're on their contract, and does this make sense for your Detroit Pistons? And I will give you my final thoughts for each individual player. So let's get into it. The three players that the Orlando Magic are expected to shop are Terrance Ross, Gary Harris, and Mo Bamba. So what I'm going to go do is go pull up their contracts and we can talk about does this make sense for your Pistons? This is Terrance Ross's contract. As you guys can see, he signed a 4-year, $54 million contract. He's on the final year, and he's making $11.5 million this season. He will be an unrestricted free agent this summer in 2023, and he'll be 32 years old. Just wanted to pull his contract up so you guys can see. We're going to go over and look at Gary Harris's contract next. This is Gary Harris's contract now. He signed a 2-year, $26 million deal with the Magic. Right now, he's making $13 million at the age of 28. As you guys can see, he has a non-guaranteed deal going into next summer if the Magic don't move him, waive him, or trade him by the 30th of June. So that is something to keep in the back of your mind, is if you do trade for Gary Harris, you have the option of trying to get rid of him so you don't have to eat that $13 million worth of salary cap. So this is Mo Bamba's contract. So let's go over it. Signed a 2-year, $20.6 million deal. It's making $10.3 million this year with the Magic at 24. Going into next season is interesting. As you guys can see, it's a non-guaranteed deal, but it does become fully guaranteed this summer on June 29th. So the Magic have a decision to make on him if they want to keep him long term. I do have a feeling that he's probably not going to be on their team long term, but he does become a UFA in 2026. As you guys can see also in his contract, he can't be traded until January 15th. That's just the type of contract he did sign. So let's go over to my final thoughts, and I'll tell you which of these players I think would make the most sense for the Detroit Pistons. And you guys can let me know who you guys want. My final thoughts on all three of these players. Let's go over them. Terrance Ross. Obviously, he's the veteran out of this group. He will be a UFA this year. He'll be 32 years old. When I look at the Detroit Pistons roster, I think Alec Burks plays very similar to Terrance Ross. And this is just my personal opinion. I would much rather have Alec Burks right now than Terrance Ross. I think they're very similar players, and I think they provide basically the same thing. I just think Alec Burks right now is just playing really good basketball. So I would have to pass on Terrance Ross, even though his contract is very attractive because he will be a UFA, like I said, this summer, and that does free up cap space if you were to trade for him. But I do see a lot of contending teams trying to make a move for Terrance Ross because he does provide elite three-point shooting, and he's just a guy that I think a lot of teams would love off their bench. Gary Harris. I think Gary Harris is a very fine player. I think a lot of people from Michigan would like Gary Harris in Detroit because he did go to Michigan State. I know a lot of people do that. You know, if he goes to Michigan or he goes to Michigan State or whatever. It's a Michigan thing. Like, that's just how fans are. I would have to pass on Gary Harris too. I think that he's a good player. Well, my biggest problem with him isn't his playing style. It isn't that, he went to Michigan State. None of that. It's his health. He just hasn't been able to stay healthy since he's entered the league. And I would find it hard to believe that Troy Weaver would trade for a guy like Gary Harris that, in my opinion, I think he's a little bit overpaid, is an average shooting guard in this league, and he's always injured. And we have so many injuries this year. I just find it hard to believe that he would trade for an injury-prone shooting guard that hasn't stayed healthy throughout his entire career. So it'd probably be a no for me. I think he's a good player, but I think if you were to trade Gary Harris, you're going to have to package him with someone else on the Orlando Magic roster. I just don't think you're going to get a whole lot for him just because he's kind of an average shooting guard, in my opinion. Getting to Mo Bamba. I think Mo Bamba, to me, I was very high on Mo Bamba. He was actually a player I wanted the Pistons to target this free agency because I think we needed more size in the middle. I didn't know we were going to get Jalen Duren. I didn't know what was going to happen with Marvin Bagley, but we did get Jalen Duren, and we re-signed Marvin Bagley to a 3-year deal. I think the biggest problem with trading for Mo Bamba, if you're the Pistons, is you have to make a decision. Because if you look at your front court depth right now, you have Isaiah Stewart that has converted over to power forward. You have Jalen Duren that made his first start against the Memphis Grizzlies. He's probably going to be your starting center for the rest of the season, in my personal opinion. I think you just can't ignore his defensive impact so far in his rookie season. The team plays better with him on the floor. And then you have Marvin Bagley off the bench being your backup center. I think if you're Detroit, you have to ask yourself, which one of these centers would I possibly get rid of for Mo Bamba? And I think you're not going to get rid of Isaiah Stewart because you want to see him play the 4. You're not getting rid of Jalen Duren because he's on a rookie scale contract and he's playing very well right now. And Marvin Bagley provides something this bench needs right now, just an impact scoring backup center. So, personally, I would have to pass on Mo Bamba. Not to say that I still don't want him. I think there's something there with him. It's going to take the right team to develop him. And I just think the Pistons front court right now is just log jammed with Stewart, Duren, and Bagley. But let me know what you guys think of these 3 players that the Orlando Magic are looking to shop. Are you interested in Terrance Ross, Gary Harris, or Mo Bamba? Let me know down below in the comment section. I'll talk to you guys down there. Like always, hope you guys are staying safe. Take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.